so much, ladies, for joining me. How are you going today?
Good, thank you. And thank you for having us. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, a great opportunity. So thanks very much.
Oh, I'm excited. So tell me a little bit about how you got into business, and which is obviously Lemon Myrtle Fragrances, Australian made. So how did that come about? How did you end up doing this family business?
Well, we were very lucky in that we've actually been using the products for probably 10 to 15 years ourselves. And about 3 years ago, the previous owners happened to mention to our son just an off-the-cuff comment that they were thinking of selling the business later in the year. And was a couple of days later, Ben said something to my husband, and my husband said something to me, and I said, get them on the phone. That's ours. I want that. And we rang them and went and had a meeting with them and bought the business. Did our due diligence and then bought the business.
I love
it. Well, we knew how good the products were. We knew what such a great name the business had, but what a wonderful product Lemon Myrtle is. And yeah, so it was just a lay down misère.
So what do you love about Lemon Myrtle? What did you love about the products before you even bought the business?
We loved how effective they were. So we had been using the repellents, the soap, the moisturizer particularly for a number of years before we'd bought the business. We liked that they were, they were pretty cost effective. They were beautiful on the skin, and Australian made was also a massive part of that. You know, we were happy to support Australian made businesses, and the fact that we personally enjoy the fragrance and the smell that Lemon Myrtle gives is another, really good thing for us to be using.
And what I've found interesting that I've learned over the years is a lot of times products that say they're made here are actually bringing in ingredients from elsewhere. But tell me, where are your producers from?
So the Lemon Myrtle, we use both the Lemon Myrtle 100% pure essential oil, and that's all farmed up around the Northern Rivers. And we buy the oil from the original family who started the business. So we still have that heritage in the brand, and we buy the oil from them. And that goes into almost every product we sell.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and then we also use the tea and the spice. And they go into a few of the products that we sell, but we also sell the tea and the spice individually. And again, that's all farmed up around Lismore and all up in the Northern Rivers. So everything from the Lemon Myrtle side of the business, but mostly all of the essential oils that we use, and we use a number of different essential oils. They're all 100% pure, and they're all farmed basically in New South Wales. But yeah, we use quite a lot of. So we use tea tree that comes from around Rapville. We use lemon scented tea tree, lemon eucalyptus, Rosalina tea tree, eucalyptus dives. So we use quite a lot of different oils in the product, and they're all farmed in New South Wales.
Amazing. So from what you started with when you bought the business, what have you done and changed it and evolved, or have you stayed the same? And what ideas do you have for where you want to take it?
Well, there's one very good thing to remember in business, and that's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we wanted to, for the very first year, we didn't want to do anything different. We wanted to just go along, maintain the business that we had, and just get to know our customers, get to know, the way products sell and how they sell at different rates. So we really didn't do very much differently in the first 12 months. from that, we started doing our research and our analytics to look at how different products were selling. And there were some products that the previous owners had kind of indicated that they might be on their way out. Well, we reinvigorated those just by trying different opportunities with customers, and we've actually saved those products now, and they're very, very good sellers. And but then we just looked at some different packaging styles. So where we were where they were wrapping some kind of soaps in paper sleeves, we've changed those to cardboard, so they're, you know, just presenting better, not just for us to sell to our customers, but also for retail stores to sell to their customers. So we just looked at some of the packaging to really just finesse it a little bit. The most important change that we did make was putting the Australian made logo front and centre on every product. So we're in the process of changing those labels so that every product has that on there now, and it's clear to everybody that this is an Australian made product. And we're really proud of that, and we're passionate about keeping that front and centre for everybody, because it's just so important to the whole, to our business, yes, but it's important for the whole Australian economy to keep pushing that Australian made component.
And what's so interesting at the moment is that there's a lot of businesses and companies really struggling to get stock into the country to get it out and be selling it. So whether they're online or, a physical store, really struggling with shipments coming in. As we know, there's container problems all over the world, empty containers sitting around the place, can't get back to China, for example. And of course, you don't have any of those issues because it's all made locally. And so that must be an amazing thing for not just your online store, but also for all of your stockists.
It's it makes it really easy for us to be able to supply our customers, because we know that we've got the stock and we can supply them. So if people ask for a certain quantity of something, we're going to be able to provide it to them. And especially after the slowness that this year has dealt to a lot of people, having a stock that we're able to supply to both retail and wholesale customers alike immediately is really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just to add to what Cassie said, we've got amazing suppliers, and they're able to, certainly we've got lead times, and there, we do have some ingredients that do have to come from overseas, but the people that are making our products, particularly the biggest supplier or our biggest kind of contract manufacturer, they've been making these products from day one. So they know the heritage of the product. They kind of have an idea of the ordering patterns in any case. And we have such a good working relationship with them that, they will always try and help us out. So if all of a sudden something goes wrong and we find ourselves in a position where we're caught short and we need something produced quickly, they're in a much better position to try and help us out to get that to us quickly than somebody that you might be then waiting on getting a container over. So, it's just really great. And as I said, because they've been our contract manufacturer from day one, we've got that really, really good relationship with them.
That's brilliant. So you're supporting growers, you're supporting producers, you're supporting transport companies locally, you're supporting, shops to be selling amazing Australian-made products, etc. You're supporting humans that use your products and have amazing results, but you're also supporting your own family. So I think that's a really fascinating thing that I know people have to hear more about is, how do you make a family business? And did you always know you wanted to have a family business?
Well, I'll start on this, and then Cassie can say from her perspective. Probably the answer would be no. We never really kind of set out to say we want to have a family business. I'd probably spent nearly 30 years in corporate land before I resigned, and was kind of thinking, well, what are we going to do? We had been doing selling bread at markets for probably 7 or 8 years. So in that respect, the kids were used to working within a family business. And, you need to hire staff. Well, the kids are the first ones on board, So from that perspective, it was just an encompassing thing because, we do kind of live together, work together, and that's really important to us. So when we actually decided to buy this business, we did set everything up so that it would be a family business. And at that point, Cassie had just finished doing her uni degrees, and we were trying to decide, well, what do we do? And she said, no, I want to work in the family business. So do you hire somebody else? Or, so Cassie said, no, I really want to work in the family business and build it up. So
it was really fun because I have worked with the family for a number of years in the markets anyway. Like I knew the personalities of mum and dad and my brother as well. So I knew that we could work together really well, and having everybody at home when this business started was really, really easy because we all, we didn't have to wait 3 business days for somebody to get back to us on responses that we needed for businesses and things like that. So from that perspective, it was really fun. And then there are certainly some challenges in a family business, but at the end of the day, we get along pretty well. We all have a really good understanding of how the other works. And to be honest, I think we've all done a really good job of making sure that we do progress and we're not going backwards as well. And look, certainly COVID chucked us a couple of challenges that nobody expected. But at the end of the day, I get to work with mum and dad on a regular basis, and Ben's in Melbourne at the moment, but I work with him whenever I can. And it's just it's a further development of the relationship that we've grown up with. And that's adjusted now because it is a business relationship as well. But it's been a lot of fun learning and exploring that with everybody.
I just think it's so beautiful. I love that whenever I see you guys and, you're in the Positive Passionate Businesswoman's meetup online and, excuse me, you just always have so much joy about being together. And I think that's something so inspirational. It's definitely something to be admired. And what's that? # family goals. I think definitely the case in definitely the situation in your case. So for other people starting out and thinking about possibly wanting to start a family business, wanting to either buy one or start out, but in those new early stages, what advice would you give to them?
Due diligence is absolutely the key. You really have to make sure that you, first of all, surround yourself with people who know what they're talking about. So you've got to have a good accountant. You really have to have a good understanding of exactly what you're doing. And I think for us, playing into the networking that from the years that I had built up and Peter had built up in the work that we've done kind of independently and together is kind of talking to those people, sitting down with the people that we knew could help us. I know they say that it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village for any of us to do anything really. And I think COVID's taught us that more than anything, that, networking and using the people as a sounding board to help you progress and knowing that you're talking to the right people is just so important. And I suppose that'd be number one. For me, number two would be that you just really have to treat people the way you want to be treated. And sometimes you might have to suck a couple of lemons because this didn't go right. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's about making sure that your customer, whether it's a retail store or whether it's a distributor or whether it's a customer that's bought one thing online, it's about treating all of our customers the right way so that they get that absolutely wonderful experience of opening their parcel and thinking, oh, great, isn't this lovely? And we just want that little window of wonderment that people will kind of open their package and think, oh, yes, that's what's really important to us.
My tip would be write things down.
What do you do? Write things down?
Write things down. Write everything down.
I'm with you there. I think those are all really awesome top tips. I completely agree with you that having the right people around you is so important. But so many people think that they have to do it all alone. And nobody can. Apart from anything, you need different areas of expertise stepping in, because we're not all an expert in everything. And particularly these days where we're kind of expected to do all the marketing and, all the things. So it's tricky. So outsourcing and finding an amazing team to be around you is so important. So with you guys, with your family, do you all have very distinct roles?
To a certain extent, I would say yes.
Yes.
There are certain things that I don't know how to do in the logistics capacity. I definitely rely on Mum for a lot of the perhaps not specific invoicing, but definitely accounting work. I rely on Mum for a lot of that. There are, I would say, not clear-cut roles, but definitely there are different things that we're each better at, I guess.
You definitely find there'll be some bleed in some areas, and then there are other things that just have to, like Cassie does most of our kind of sales work and the invoicing, and she and Peter kind of work on our pick, pack and dispatch, and Peter's really good at a lot of that logistics kind of stuff, whereas I'm more along the lines of product development and looking at label changes and that kind of finessing of the product.
And also keeping on top of when we need to order new products. Mummy's brilliant. Brilliant.
So you do find there are some things where there's a little bit of bleed, but because it is a family business, you just never know when somebody's not going to be available today. So you've got to be ready to be able to kind of step into that void and say, okay, can't do that today, so somebody has to. So that's one thing that I suppose we've learnt of late, that you've got to be ready to be able to step into it, because you can't just say, yeah, sorry, I'm not available for the next week. Somebody's got to be able to do it.
Absolutely. So for each one of you, what's something that no matter how big the company grew, no matter how many other people you might bring on board to do whatever, what's one thing in the business that you would never give up doing yourself?
I don't think I would give up talking to customers, to be honest. I think that the fact that I get to talk firsthand to the people that contact us, so whether that's email and especially on the phone, is a really good point of contact for me to get more information about how people are using our products, enjoying our products, what we can adjust. And that's a really good and important thing that I think I would like to keep doing.
That's a really good one. And what about you, Kerry?
Product development. It's been my baby for 30 odd years. In my previous life, I was a product developer and a buyer, so it's what I know through and through. And it allows me to kind of look at, where we go. But similarly to Cassie is, you know, hearing her talk to customers, and even when, you know, we go to the markets, when you hear that firsthand from customers, that's the thing that feeds your brain, that kind of says, oh, okay, well, you know. And just recently we launched a dog shampoo and a linen mist, and those were two products that people kind of kept saying to us, oh, do you do a dog shampoo? We're starting to hear that a lot. And then all of a sudden, you know, you might open a few trade magazines and you're seeing linen mist and linen mist and linen mist. So it's like, well, you know, maybe this is an area that we need to take our home care range into. But yeah, it's getting that feedback from customers, and hearing that, you know, allows me to then kind of think about, well, what else can we do? And, you know, what are the things that we as a family like to do? Because if you're doing something you like to do, it's not work, and it makes it easy.
That's so wonderful, so wonderful. What's your top tip that you would share, each one of you, about being a woman in business? Who wants to go first?
I've been really lucky in that I have never experienced a problem with being a woman in business. It's not ever been something that I've recognised as a crutch, maybe, I guess. I don't really think that there's... The only thing that I would say is that you just keep showing up and you just keep doing the job. You keep going, and if you're good at it, then that will show. And they'll see that.
So perseverance.
Yeah, perseverance, I would absolutely, but also knowing when to stand up for yourself, and knowing that you can stand up for yourself, and the fact that something might not be working out the way that you want it to work out, you've got to find the way to make it work. And you know what? Everybody's different. And there are some times when the most appropriate action is for me to say to Peter, can you talk to this bloke, please, because he's an old-fashioned guy and he wants to talk to you. So it makes more sense for you to talk to him than for me to beat my head up trying to talk to him. And, you know, it happens from time to time, but it's about knowing which is the best way to achieve the outcome that you're trying to achieve, and not getting hung up on that.
So reading people and understanding different human natures, perhaps.
Yep.
Interesting. Those are two incredibly good ways of thinking about it. And I think being a woman in business can be tough, but being on your own in business can be tough. I'm sure being a guy in business can be tough, but I've never been one. But I think the important thing is just having that amazing community around you, that group of people. So what would you say about being in the Positive Passionate Businesswoman group? What's it about being in there that has been enjoyable for you both?
For me, is definitely about hearing things from not only your guests that are there each month, but the other women in the group. There are some times that you get so close to a problem or an issue that you just can't see the resolution, and then all of a sudden somebody says something and it's like, actually, do you know what? That might help us solve this. And it doesn't have to be something that's earth-shattering. It can be a very small issue, you know, but it's just having that network of people, and because sometimes it's not what you need today is going to be different for what you need tomorrow. And so having that variety of people that you can listen to, you know, I mean, it just makes it so worthwhile because you've got such a diverse group of people that all of a sudden something clicks from somebody that will help us solve an issue. And they don't even know they've done it.
Yeah, that's right. And what about
same thing, the different sphere of women and the different solutions that they offer, like Mum said, you know, can solve a problem A, that we didn't know that we had, or give us solutions to things that we hadn't considered before. And that the sounding board is really the beautiful part of it.
I love that too. And in terms of speakers, when we're thinking of who do we want to invite to be a speaker, when you just look at our last 3 months, we've had an accountant, followed by face yoga, followed by decluttering. So, you know, very, very different things that are coming in. And what I love too is that will always draw different people into our meetups, you know, according to who is speaking, or, you know, you're available and you want to be part of it that particular night. So I'm totally with you there. I just love the massively diverse range of women that are attracted to it. So, and want to be part of something.
And the good thing too, Kylie, is that it's not always just about business, because we all have personal lives as we have business lives. And sometimes you don't realise how much a personal issue can be impinging on the business life. And so by having these variety of guests means that you're being able to accommodate, you know, all the spheres, you know.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me and chatting about your business. I'm personally fascinated in it because it's amazing having a family business that's really working, and, you know, that you're all enjoying being together and obviously growing and evolving and all of that, which is really fun to watch. But also that you've come into an amazing company that you already loved and knew the products, and are able to take that in a direction that's, you know, intrinsically you guys. But what I love is that you said for a whole year we weren't going to make changes. We were just going to feel our way and really understand it. So there's a lot of absolute gold nuggets that you've shared for all business owners out there. So amazing. Thank you so much. So Kerry and Cassi from Lemon Myrtle Fragrances. So you'll be able to find them online, find them on socials. We'll put all the details in the caption and in the text around it. And I can't wait to watch you guys grow. It's just beautiful. And I love your products. I've been loving them for many years. So thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks very much, Kylie, because we couldn't be doing what we're doing without the help of people like you that you know, that we're working with, and we just love
part of our network.
Yeah, we just love working with you and
we
your
love being in your netball, in your network. I was saying netball. We love being in your network, being part of your community and having you as part of ours. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks you very much.
All right, catch you soon. Bye, everyone.